toy.
We want it bin. I have spoken.
Welcome to episode 204 of the Smugglers Galaxy podcast.
Pod chassis.
Your favorite Star Wars podcast for smugglers in the galaxy. I'm Glenn, and there's Jason. And it's a Monday night, man. How you doing, Jason?
I'm good. How you doing, Glenn?
I'm good. Just party time, dude.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice.
How's your week? You said you were busy yesterday.
Yeah, extremely busy. It doesn't slow down for me.
It's not like you got kids going to school and moving out.
No. And then my mom had surgery, so I went over to her place to help her out, make the dinner.
Geez.
Yeah, so it is what it is, but we're here.
Yeah, she doing all right?
She's fine. Yeah, she's in recovery. She's had shoulder surgery.
Ooh.
I can say words.
Say the words, Jason. Say the word.
Shoulder injury.
Ooh.
Roger.
Just like something major or just getting old?
I'm just getting old. And yeah, she'll be in recovery for 6 weeks, but I went over and made her dinner. And then I had to go over and take care of Penny because my sister-in-law, she fell at school. So
geez.
Yeah.
You really were busy.
Yeah. And then I think I've mentioned this. We're getting a deck right now being built in the backyard, and I had to go underneath the crawl space because they need to brace the deck by attaching it to the house itself. So they need to get into the crawl space. So I had to go in there and start moving things around and rearranging. Sunday was just an insane day. Saturday was insane because of the toy shows.
All right. Saturday was more fun than Sunday because my Sunday, I've been dealing with my lawnmower and like trying to put new belts on it and blades and stuff. And I've just been ordering the stuff off Amazon and I keep ordering the wrong parts. So I finally on Sunday get everything together and start to put it back together. And then I realize my battery's dead. And so in my haste, I hooked the new battery up wrong. And I've blown something. So now I've got to deal with having my lawnmower, figuring out why I keep blowing fuses on my mower. So yeah, yay, home ownership. But thankfully I put in our Facebook group for the neighborhood. I'm like, help, I need help because my grass is like a foot tall. I just need somebody to please come cut my grass and take this stress off of me. And some lady down the street came cut my grass. I gave her like $40.
Some old lady cut your grass.
I totally did.
Let me give you a shiny nickel, lady.
It kind of felt like that. It was bad. But you know, I'm like, hey, she's like, oh, I come cut it for $20. I was like, sweet. And then she looked at my backyard and was like, you want the backyard done too? I'm like, yes, please. Can you give me more money? Of course. Sure thing.
Here's a quarter.
I was kind of hoping some little kid would come do it, but nobody cuts grass anymore for money, do they?
No, they're too entitled.
Yeah.
No, thank you. I'll just tweet.
I will become a social influencer.
I'll just post a dance on TikTok from your backyard if I can. Thanks.
Right. And people will give me money and likes. But yeah, no, back to Saturday. So it was the Powder Springs Toy Show and then Chris Hamer's Legion Con. Back to back.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was pretty cool because I think with Legion Con, it moved some of the bigger, heavier hitters to Legion Con and away from the Powder Springs show. So you had, or maybe it's just because I hadn't been in them to the last one or two. It felt like there was a lot of new vendors there. I
think you're right. I think if I can be real here and give some critical feedback, I think these shows are just eating each other up, and there's not enough people to go around. Yes, the toy collector group here in Atlanta is a passionate group, and it's thriving, but there's only so many of us, and we can't
Right.
go to 4 or 5 different shows on a weekend.
No. He normally posts how many people he had. Chris does at his show. And the past few years, it's been a pretty steady 400. And this year it was 300. So I don't think he did that bad considering everything that's been going on.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it, I don't know. I was a
Certainly,
little disappointed in it this year, Hamer's show. But maybe because people were at the Powder Springs show and was like, I can go there for free. Uh,
certainly didn't feel like 300 people. It felt really slow.
that I think it had to have picked up at the towards because I thought when we were leaving it felt like it got heavier because people were coming over from Powder Springs. But I still enjoy the show. It's a good hangout. We were able to hang out for a little bit, and our wives were able to chit chat while we went and looked around. And normally, there's been a lot more artists than there have been this year. So I don't know what happened, but all in all, I mean, I enjoy it. The thing I saw, I've been on a Gambit uh cover kick on whatever, on comic books. And Chris had one that it was like Wolverine and Gambit. It was like all the key. It was a really awesome, beautiful cover. And I thought it said $40. And I was like, for $40 for a book, that's a lot of money, but I may buy it just because of, things, because of the way things have been going with the new movie, Deadpool movie. And then I looked and there was a one in front of the four. And I ever so slightly handed it back to him. And I said, thank you very much. I won't be paying that for this book.
Yeah, it's a lot
But
for a comic.
yeah, that was Hamer's. There was what, 2 3 toy dealers there.
Yeah, I think some of these toy shows need to find a niche, something to distinguish themselves from others. And I don't
Mm,
know if that's bringing in guests or something, but you have to draw the crowd, and it just feels like they're cookie cutter toy shows because it's like I said before in other episodes, it's the same vendors going to the same shows, bringing the same stock, seeing the same people. It's like you got to shake things up. You got to think outside the box just to get people out there, give them a
right.
reason.
And I think the toy store community is doing a good job of having a niche. Each toy store around here seems to have their niche. And then, because that's what they do in Cincinnati, they all carry the same stuff, but they all have something that they specialize in. And then they're not afraid to say, I don't have that, but he does. At least up in Cincinnati. I don't know if it turned out that way here in Atlanta yet or not. It'd be nice.
I don't know, but that's my feedback. What did you pick up instead of what did you almost pick up?
I was trying to look for the guy's name, but the two-horn guy from Rebels that they cut his horn off, he was kind of a pirate. I don't remember his name.
Versage? No, it's not Versage. Viago. Virago.
Viago, yes.
Something like that.
Viago, whatever. That dude. And
V-Man. We call
huh?
him the
The
V-Man.
V-Man and the protocol, one of the droids, there was a 2-pack, and I had never seen that 2-pack before, so I picked that up at there. And then today, a couple of weeks ago, my wife had a birthday party, and somebody had given her a $20 Target gift card that she gave me on Saturday, and I went. She's like, just throw it on the Target app. I'm like, no. I said, this knocks the ghost down to $40, and she's like,
Yeah.
okay. So she also had like 5% off, and we used the Target app to pay for everything, the red card. So I got like another 5% off. So I got the Ghost for $38.
Cool.
Yeah. So
That's a deal.
yeah, I was pretty excited. It's pretty cool. It's big. I haven't brought it downstairs. It's sitting on top of my humidor, which is like a 11 by 14 humidor, and it's taking up the whole top of it. It's a huge ass ship.
It's a
but
big ship.
It looks really cool. I think they did a good job. I haven't really be able to get into it because I just got it about an hour ago. But I do like the fact that Sabine's bedroom is painted or the sticker is her. They've done the detail on it's pretty awesome. And I know Hasbro Pulse did not do that good. I mean, the detail on that's going
I
to be
mean,
incredible.
Hasbro's buying as many companies as they can to be the only one. So it's just a matter of time before Haswares is a thing.
Yes. But so yeah, those are the two things I've gotten, I believe. Yeah. And my wife, I think, picked up some ET stuff, believe it or not.
Well, I did stop at Target and in
Oh,
Ackworth, and they did have a Phantom. So
I've got mine on Amazon, but that
I
is a
got my
cool looking ship.
I got my Phantom. It's cool. I forgot. I put a secret thing in there. You can
Uh-oh.
hide a thumb drive inside of it.
That's cool that the top comes off.
The top comes off, and there's a place to stick Chopper in the back, and then there's their little U-shaped holders where you can stick like a person to stand in the back.
Mhm.
You can put that back on. Chop comes off the top. You can insert them on the top like an R2 unit.
Mhm.
Um, I'm having trouble putting the top on, but yeah, that works really well. You can see Chopper right there, and then the hood obviously flips open, and one Ezra Bridger or Jabba the Hutt sits
Orlando
there.
Calrissian.
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah,
Excuse
I've
me.
been trying
So
to. I haven't found any of those at any Targets. I haven't found that wave yet.
yeah, I have it pre-ordered on Amazon, but I think I'm going to cancel my pre-orders and just go for that giant pack that they do because now I have like an extra Anakin Starfighter and an A-wing and a TIE interceptor, and I don't need all of these, and I can't sell them, so why buy them?
Right. That's what Kelly over at Second Chance, he was griping. He goes, they've done such a good job with that packaging that they knew they were doing. There's no way that was a second thought. You know, they knew they were going to do. They had to know they were doing that all along.
No, it was something they developed during Series 3. Otherwise, Series 1 and 2 would have been part of that.
Oh, okay.
That's a afterthought because there's the complaints of trying to get Sabine's TIE fighter. But yeah, I picked that up, and then at the toy show, my wife came and we were walking around, and this one guy had a bobblehead, and I kind of like took a second glance because it's not something I'm used to seeing down here. They had Otto the Orange, which is the mascot for Syracuse, sitting on the shelf, and I was like, "How much do you want for him?" He's like, "Make me an offer." I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what this is worth."
Mhm.
I mean, here down in the South, it's not like you're going to find a big swath of people who are going to buy the Syracuse Otto the Orange. And he goes, $5. And I go, deal. He's coming home.
Nice.
So I got Otto. I also picked up some guy had Jurassic Park, the first edition, the book.
Yes,
So I picked that up for $10. Can't
that's cool.
This is something I've been looking forward to. And it's a placeholder. There's a tear in the back, and there's funky something on the spine, the book.
Mhm.
But I mean, this is something I've been looking for a long time, and it's such a great book. I
Yeah.
always say that they should make a mini series on the Sci-Fi Channel. I don't even know if they still do that kind of stuff of the book itself.
Oh, so like a real stick to the book.
Stick to the book because it's completely different. I mean, Hammond is just a corporate asshole.
Right. I guess I need to reread that book because it has been like 30 years.
Anybody who lived died in the book, and anybody who died in the movie. Wait, did I do that right? Anybody who lived in the book died in the movie, and anybody who died in the book lived in the movie. There we go.
Okay. Interesting. And I know the
Yeah,
kids were flip-flopped because it was an older boy and a
yeah,
younger girl.
yeah. Yep. And so I picked that up, and then in the mail, I got my Mandalorian Judge vintage collection, which I was a little hesitant about because he had a bright orange, like an Otto the Orange, Syracuse orange kind of helmet in the promo shots, but it's a little bit more subdued in person. So I was happy about that. It seems more weathered and more natural, I guess.
Mhm.
It's not like a neon orange.
Maybe I need to pick up some of those Mandos.
And I also got the Ezra and Kanan from the vintage collection, but I'm gonna have to order a second one now because of the ghost. When that comes in, I need to put somebody in it.
Right.
because I'm
Oh,
not
you're not
opening
gonna.
those
Yeah.
figures.
I got to see how good those figures look. I'm not second guess. I don't want to say I'm second guessing opening them, but we are getting some really cool figures that would, maybe prevent me from opening them. I don't know. But there's some cool stuff that I want to see on those figures.
Today they dropped the San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Today's Monday. They dropped all the exclusives on Hasbro Pulse and the Darth Maul Black Series and the Sith Speeder. Was it a Sith Speeder? Anyways, I,
Sure,
alm-
we'll call it that.
I almost bought it, but I didn't. I hesitated and it sold out, so I guess I'm not getting it.
There was one at the Powder Springs swap meet. They had a guy there that was at San Diego Comic Con and had all the exclusives. And I didn't ask to see what he wanted for that.
Yeah,
I know he was looking for about $100 on everything. And, if you picked it up, it's about $100.
he's scalping, but
Yeah.
I hesitated. It says coming soon, so I'm wondering if they're gonna do their normal like, here's the 10,000 we made for San Diego Comic-Con, and here's the 50,000 we made for everybody else.
And it's missing one piece or something.
It doesn't say SDCC exclusive on the side
Okay.
on the box, but who knows? Maybe if it comes back in stock, I'll listen to the devil on my shoulder who says, "Do it."
Do it.
And but yeah, that's all I picked up. It was a good week, a busy week.
Yeah, I did. I also pre-ordered the dad bod, even though he doesn't have a dad bod, Thrawn and Ahsoka the White in TBC.
Yeah, because they just reused the normal Imperial body.
Yeah. They were on Amazon. I was like, forget it. I'll just throw it in the pile.
But
'Cause,
that's all I picked up. I'm checking my notes here, but yeah, that's what it says.
Ahsoka is the new Boba Fett. She changed. We're gonna put a new hat on her, new figure.
Yeah.
So Natasha, the girl that plays Sabine on Ahsoka, is going to be at Dragon Con, and I did some math, and it's a lot of freaking money.
How much is it to get her signature?
It's $65 just to get in the door at Dragon Con
Oh.
on a Sunday. Yeah.
How much is her signature?
I'd probably say between that and 100. I'd say it's probably going to be 60 to $100 for her signature.
Is it important to meet her?
Not really.
Because
If it was, huh?
why don't you ask someone to do it for you and just save the $65?
Oh, if I was gonna do the autograph, I would go meet her. If somebody wants to give me a ticket to Dragon Con, I'll gladly take it and go. But she's only there Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I need to do Dragon Con at some point, but it just doesn't appeal to me because it's a costuming convention, I guess.
Yes.
But it's not pitched as a costuming convention because like Jordan's doing a solo panel this year about the paranormal stuff.
Yeah, it's got a lot of panels. The showroom is pretty much, it feels like it repeats every row. That a lot of people are selling the same thing there. It's very, very few toys. I did pick up a last 17 Imperial Gunner there for like $50 a few years ago, which I was pretty excited about. But you may have one toy vendor there out of the 100 vendors, and they're expensive. The artist gallery, if you love art, you can't beat it. They've got a lot of good artists in there. Our buddy Christian, he has a booth there, and he's always live painting, and it's almost worth going just to see his booth.
I'm sure eventually I'll do it, but I don't feel any need to do it this year.
Don't go on a Saturday because you don't like people, and you will not like Saturday.
I don't like crowds.
Right. You don't like crowds. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I've been down
like.
there on a Saturday and I can deal with the crowd, and it overwhelmed me. What
Yeah.
did you say?
I said some people I like.
But yeah, when I went on a Saturday, and like right after the parade, Peachtree Street is just wall to wall people, and you can't move, and it's like that for a mile, for however long the parade route is. It's very claustrophobic.
That seems like a nightmare.
Yes, just a little bit.
I did get my prototype this week. Was that? Do you have anything more to add to Dragon Con and
Uh,
Natasha?
Alan Tudyk's gonna be there. That might be fun to
Yeah,
meet him. But
yeah.
I'm not like I gotta go meet him. It'd be fun. It'd be like one because everybody's in a big room and you can at least see them. So it'd be like, Alan, how you doing? Sort of like I did with the guy who played Brad in Rocky Horror, and he just kind of looked at me weird. And I was like, that's Brad from Rocky Horror, and he just like looked up at the same time, and it was like, whatever, man. What? So you got your prototype. That looked pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I got my Micro Machine Action Fleet Battle Pack prototype, and I tried to compare it with the production version to see if they're um, carded prototypes. And the best of my ability, because everything looked like production, the
Mm.
details were there and everything. When I would hold up my flashlight, comparing the production to the carded prototype that I have, the definition in the prototype is a little bit more pronounced and makes me think like it's an early test sample or an early proto or a late prototype or something along those lines. So, but it's pretty awesome. I'm ecstatic to have it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I feel like I need to redo my room to add because I got the Leia art and Leia Micro Machine art, and I just want to put together a wall of all the art that I have for Micro Machines, but I can't because there's
Don't
other
have a
stuff in
wall.
the way.
Well, you will have an office in a couple of weeks
I will.
because that's what I did with this place. It's my art gallery.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
If
see.
yeah, I need to every time I buy a new piece, especially like this ghost, it's like where am I gonna put it? I really need to go downstairs and like reorganize stuff or make room for stuff, and I just haven't done it.
I have two pieces of news.
Okay.
The Haswares released a Micro Galaxy Squadron. That was a joke. I did that on purpose. A checklist for Series 6, and the only new item that wasn't mentioned before, it was whited out so you can't see it in detail, was the Marauder in parentheses rescue mission. And I mean, they were in so many different rescues during that time on the show, so it could be any episode, but there's a new Marauder repaint coming from Micro Galaxy Squadron.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, I got to pull out the old bingo card.
Uh-huh. Did we get something right or wrong?
Wrong.
Uh-oh.
Top square. Lando will start filming.
Oh, I saw that.
We should have done the thing we were joking about. Lando will start filming. Lando won't film because we would have gotten a square. It seems like the director of the Lando project said that it's dead at Lucasfilm. It's not moving forward. It's extremely frustrating because you've got a charismatic actor who's incredibly talented as a writer, as a content creator, as an actor, and you're just gonna let him walk.
Yeah, I think it's because he's so busy. It's more than just, Donald Glover's a busy guy, but I also heard he was retiring from music so that he can focus back on his acting because his music career was taking away too much of it from his acting career.
I support that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with his music. I just enjoyed him as an actor, and I want to see more Donald Glover on screen because I don't like people, so I'm not going to concerts. But yeah, it's disappointing because I was really hoping to get more Solo,
Yeah.
a Star Wars story, and I felt like that was the place that they could, with a spin-off, they can explore some of that stuff, and it's not moving forward.
Yeah, that's a bummer because it was awesome. It would have been awesome.
But that's all the news I have. Make sure you tune in to the latest episode of Prototypes and Production
Production.
because David Quinn was nice enough to invite us on to record a little something for our 200th episode, which we celebrated at the beginning of this month or last month, because now we're in August.
Right.
And yeah, it was great.
It was awesome. Yeah. So thank you for doing that for us, David.
Thank you, David.
So what do you want to talk about?
Oh God, here we go. I was just watching Wishful Drinking again.
Okay.
The Carrie Fisher special. Did you ever watch that?
No, I didn't even know they had one.
Yeah, on HBO. She did a one woman show on Broadway. I think it was
Uh-huh.
Broadway. And she had a theater and she talked about her life and it's pretty funny. It's her normal self, but if you have Max, look up Wishful Drinking.
I had
And
the book. But yeah, I didn't know they put that on there. I'll have to look that up.
but I do miss her. Watching it made me realize how much I missed her personality when it came to like celebrations
Mhm.
and just being an ambassador for Star Wars. And it stinks when you have to see people go like that.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I never uh was she there in 17? No, or was she had already passed?
No, she passed in 16 right after Rogue One came out.
Okay. Yeah, I just it because
Like
I remember going, huh?
I was in the theater for Rogue One, seeing it maybe a second time when the news came through that she had passed.
Wow. Yeah, it because we're getting that at age where our heroes are passing. I remember when Peter Mayhew died, when you hear that news, it kind of took you back because like Dragon Con right before Force Awakens came out. He was there and he didn't have to take it felt like 10 or 15 minutes. It probably was like 5 or 6, 5 to 10 minutes, but we had a really good, me, Mandy, and Kaya, we had a really great interaction with them. And then you hear, several years later he passes. Um, it definitely hits you. And
Yeah.
yeah, that
The
sucks.
only interaction that I've ever had with an actor is Jonas from the new Chewbacca,
Mhm.
essentially, from the Acolyte. He played Kel Naka, whatever his name is.
Well, and you also got to see Ewan McGregor wave at you on the floor
Oh, I should take it
celebration.
back. How could I forget about those dreamy eyes? I saw Ewan McGregor. I was 3 feet away from him, and he waved to me and said, "Hey, bud, you're my favorite Star Wars fan."
Right, which he said to the next guy and the next guy.
Yeah, but
No, but that was a cool moment because it's just one of those things you will always talk about because everybody was cool in that moment. The security, they were like, don't rush up on him and you can have your moment, but don't expect anything more than a wave because that's what you're going to get unless you pay
yeah,
$300 for the autograph.
yeah.
Anyway,
Excuse me. Still getting over this cold. It
oh,
sucks.
geez, Jason. So,
There's something else I was going to mention. Now it's completely lost in my brain.
oh,
Oh, so my
yeah,
brother watched The Acolyte, and
yeah,
as I've mentioned before, he's a passive Star Wars fan. And he said that he was like, was that General Grievous at the end of the show? He liked it. He liked it a lot.
right.
He liked the ending. I don't think he had any problems with anything. Um, but he thought the Darth Plagueis reveal in the end, or the Mun, because he wasn't named on screen, was General Grievous before he got his armor.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that because he's got the long face.
Yeah. He's got the long fingers because General Grievous kind of has bony long fingers. And so that's who he thought was that character. And I had to explain to him, no, that's Darth Plagueis, dude. And sit down because I've got a thesis to tell you about Darth Plagueis. It's been playing, episode 3 has been playing on TNT this
Uh-huh.
past weekend. And so I was watching it and they did the whole Darth Plagueis the wise scene. But it sounded like to me that Darth Plagueis knew the secret. Darth either to create life or to sustain life, but Darth Sidious killed him before he was able to learn the secret
Hmm.
because he kind of says together we can learn the secret to Anakin Skywalker, which made me think like, oh, the secret's been lost,
Right.
which is something that would be interesting to explore in season 2.
If we get a season 2.
If yeah,
If I'm down for a season 2, um I'm just concerned that everybody hated it so much, quote unquote, that it will affect Skeleton Crew, which then it'll just be a snowball uh thing from here on out. I'm I'm a little concerned because people are like Skeleton Crew is going to be like Goonies. I'm like, well, they said the Acolyte was going to be like X-Files, and it was nothing. It had X-Files elements, but it wasn't what I would consider X-Files. So if they
Yeah.
mean the Goonies, by then there's going to be a bunch of kids that hunt for something. Sure, it'll be Goonies, but that may be as far as you get.
Yeah, so I guess so I was excited about the Acolyte because of the X-Files, and then Leslie Headland did Russian Doll, which is a really cool sci-fi show.
Yeah,
Kind of
Russian
like,
Doll was awesome.
yeah, so she did that, and that got me hyped up. John Watts did all the Spider-Man movies.
Hmm.
He brought a lot of energy to it. He was able to work with those kids. I thought the kids interacted well on screen. They felt like kids, they felt like high schoolers.
Hmm.
And so that's given me hope. But I mean, The Goonies is an all-time classic. It's sustained for a reason. It's a genius movie, and Richard Donner did an amazing job lassoing those kids. And I mean, they still have careers today. Sean Austin, and Key are still working. Josh Brolin obviously is still working. So it's a
Oh, he
tall
came from.
order. What?
Oh shoot! What the heck?
Yeah, I didn't
Never
go with
mind. The guy
Corey
that thinks he
Feldman.
has a music career.
Corey Feldman. I was being
Is it?
kind to
No, it's
Corey.
not Corey Feldman. It's the other.
Yeah,
Is it Corey Feldman?
Corey
No,
Feldman.
no, it's not Corey. Is it?
It's Corey Feldman.
Okay.
Mouth.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm hopeful, maybe I'll put my hand in the burner and it's too hot. And it's like I didn't learn my lesson because the last time I put my hand on the burner, it was still too hot. Like fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. But I
Mhm.
really I do hope that Skeleton Crew is great and that it ties into they say it ties into original trilogy stuff. So maybe they discover, I don't know,
Luke's hand.
Luke's hand possibly, or maybe they discover because that's got to be found at some point. I know it was
Right.
covered in one of the books. They said acolytes dug it out from Cloud City, but like maybe they discover the medical frigate. Maybe that's just lost in space, and they're like, or find well, Home One I guess was in Ahsoka,
Mm.
but I'm just trying to find an equivalent to like One Eye Willie's ship. Like what massive thing in Star Wars can these kids find and then bring to the rebellion or the New Republic to fight against the Empire in the Mandalorian movies?
Right. Maybe they find some of the Starlight Beacon.
What's that?
It was the High Republic ship that they.
Oh,
So the first like books of the High Republic, the Jedi were building a space station called Starlight Beacon, and then these guys blew it up.
okay.
Nerd.
But yeah. And then beyond that, got Andor season 2 and a Mandalorian movie, but they really haven't announced anything. So maybe next April we'll get some more information. Maybe D23, which is right around the corner. It's D23 month.
Right.
Did you see that new Star Speeder?
Where at?
It's a D23 exclusive. They've only made
Oh yeah, yeah,
3,000
yeah, 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 yeah. For what's it?
Star Tours.
Star Tours.
They
Yes, I
only
saw
made
that.
3,000 of them. It's 3.75 scale. It comes with an R2D2 and a Rex. Rex is carded and he looks amazing in this
Right.
card. It's $300. I'm going to try to go for it because there will be some stock available on Shop Disney on the 12th, but I mean it's
Mhm.
Shop Disney, so that site will come to a crawl and who knows if I'll get lucky. But the cool thing is like it's got tear off panels, all the doors open up like you're on the ride and stuff.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And it's got a small digital screen, almost like your iPhone screen,
Uh-huh.
that sits up front. And when you put Rex in, you press the button, it plays the entire video from the original ride.
Oh wow.
All that for $300.
Right.
Come on, Hasbro, get with it. I mean, I guess it opens the question, Disney parks are doing things and they do like little one-offs here. Like the
Mhm.
Zombie Droid was just released and they did the TC-14 from episode 1. They do the little droid factory droids.
Right.
Do they because it's Disney, do they not have to pay the licensing to Lucasfilm? Are they able to just make their own vehicle for $300? Because If Hasbro made that, that'd be 400, $500.
But I mean, considering Disney owns Lucasfilm, they probably just do whatever they want.
But I would imagine the way corporations work, like Disney still has to pay Lucasfilm, and then Lucasfilm has to share those profits with Disney. So it's like it's a wash,
Uh-huh.
but I still feel like Lucasfilm probably does charge Disney a licensing fee. It's probably not as much though.
Mm.
But it looks
Yeah.
amazing, and I'm
You want it bad. I really thought that was the Micro Galaxy Squadron that we had heard rumors of when I first saw it.
yeah, Max said he was working on something, but they have that Disney Parks droid exclusive, all the battle droids with like the tank and some stat speeders, and I'm like, that
Right.
can't be what he was talking about, can it?
They repainted it and gave it to Disney. Why not?
That can't be it. It's got to be a star speeder because that's what I want. I mean, it will actually be bigger than this,
Right.
but
Yeah, if it's
I
got a screen the size of an iPhone, it's got to be bigger than that.
I was hoping they would do because they've been they keep showing like Soarin' over California, which is the original Soarin'. They bring it back for a short window and then they'll play Soarin' around the world again.
Uh-huh.
And I would love for them to do that with Star Tours, but they took out Rex and they put in C3PO. And so you can't do it. You
Mhm.
can't swap it out because it's a physical animatronic that's in the ride. It's not like a projector screen.
Right.
So
Hmm.
unfortunately, we can't get that. It's permanently gone, which is part of the reason why I want this thing even more.
Right. Yeah, I had made mention uh because I know that they're talking of tearing down all the Simpsons stuff at Universal, and I'm like, it'd be really cool if they were to just run the Back to the Future film in the Simpsons ride. And it's like it wouldn't make sense. I'm like, I really don't care. It would be even though
It's
you'd
the
still
same
be
ride
able to
vehicle.
experience, huh?
Same ride vehicle.
Right. It's the same. You'd have Simpsons. It'd be pink instead of gray. Who cares? You'd still have the same experience of riding the Back to the Future ride.
That was the cool thing about the 25th anniversary box set for Back to the Future. It included the entire pre-show, the rides itself for Back to the Future.
Uh-huh.
And so you could watch all the screens because as you go from each room, the story progresses where Biff comes in, he steals a time machine, and then Doc gets locked up and he tells you what to do. And then it's got the whole screen where you go back to the prehistoric era and you're flying through, 2015 Hill Valley, which is funny to say now that it's 2024.
Oh man.
I'm
Yeah,
still
that's
waiting,
my
still
one
waiting for my
regret.
hoverboard.
Yeah, one regret. I never got to ride that ride. It'd
Oh
been cool.
no.
No, I went in like 92 and it was Black Friday and my whole family got food poisoning
Oh,
and my dad was like, I can't wait in an hour long line. I gotta go. So
yeah,
we didn't get to experience it. I was
I
kind of a little
understand that.
upset.
I understand that, but
Yeah. I'm
I
like,
mean,
dude,
it's a
it's Back to the
classic
Future.
Universal ride. Same thing with Confrontation. I miss that one.
Yeah. I did get to experience the Ghostbusters show, and that's about all I saw.
Yeah, which became Twister,
Right.
which
What?
then I was just telling Josie about this because we saw Twister and then we saw Twisters,
Uh-huh.
and Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton hated each other so much that when they filmed the pre-show for Twister, the
Uh-huh.
ride, they're not sharing the screen at the same time because they hated each other. They wouldn't film.
Oh, geez.
So they put two TVs up, and Helen Hunt would start talking, and Bill Paxton would like turn his head to the right so he's looking at the TV. And when she would stop, he would start talking, and then she would turn her head to look at him, but they were nowhere near each other because they hated each other.
Oh, jeez.
It's funny.
Gotta love it.
But yeah, D23 right around the corner. I'm hoping that we do get some sort of Star Cruiser announcement because that's been relatively quiet. Disney's got to do something, especially after that Jenny Nicholson video.
Right.
Um, it would be nice. Something more than the cruises. Enough with the cruises. I'm not going to spend $10,000 a person to go in some chintzy bar that's supposed to be Star Wars, but it looks like you just went to Party City and was like, that looks Star Wars, throw it up.
That's what I'm afraid of at the Hyperspace Lounge at the Wish. I haven't done a whole lot with it, but I'm fearing that that's what it is going to look like. It's going to be a cheesy I want to be Star Wars because I don't even think there's ships in there that they have holograms of, and it's not even like an X-Wing. It's like a ship they made up.
Yeah, they just don't want to go back to the George Lucas stuff,
Right.
which I don't get. But and that's the frustrating thing is like with Marvel fans, you like Doctor Doom. Here's Doctor Doom.
Right.
It's not like we've invented this new villain called Doctor Terrible, and he's gonna be in the movie. It's like they went back to the original source material because that's where people love, and I get a little heartbroken to see, and I know it's not one for one because Marvel's got 60 years of storytelling and Star Wars is just, 11 movies.
Right.
And yeah, there's a bunch of books, but I mean, let's go back. Let's do Tales from Mos Eisley or something. I don't know. Like, I just feel like as Star Wars fans, we're getting the shaft.
We are.
And
Maybe they're still mad that, huh?
Marvel fans get the red carpet rolled out for them.
Maybe they're still mad about HasLabs failing.
Maybe. I don't want to get into Deadpool because I know people haven't seen it yet, but there seems to be a reverence
Oh,
for
come
what
on, man.
no, not everyone's seen it yet. I don't want to ruin it, but there seems to be a reverence for like the X-Men,
Mhm.
like Mystique and Nightcrawler. I mean, Nightcrawler is Mystique's son
Oh, wow.
in the comics, but they never explore that in the movies. But Ryan Reynolds seems to be like that was in the comics, so that's just the way it's going to be in my movie.
Mhm.
Um, so I appreciate that. I just wish we would get that in Star Wars.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a reason, like a money reason that they're not. I mean, they are kind of bringing it back a little bit, but it's not like we're getting bits and pieces instead of a whole pie, you know?
Yeah. And I wonder if it's the aging actors. They're getting older, so it's like we don't want to use them. They're more expensive. It's easier to develop our own Star Wars story.
I don't know why they just freaking recast them, man. It'll be okay. We'll get over it.
Well, according to David Quinn, there's rumors that Luke Skywalker is going to be in the Mando movie.
Yeah.
We need that Mara Jade to show up.
Oh my God. That'd be so awesome.
It would be. I mean, that Thrawn trilogy, that original one, is just something special. It's not
Yeah.
perfect, but it is something special.
Mm.
What did you think?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You want to hear a bunch of nerds cry for joy? Bring back Mara Jade,
Mara Jade.
Mara
What
Jade,
did,
whatever.
what did you think about right in the start of the book? Obi-Wan Kenobi appears as a Force ghost and says, "This is it. I gotta go. Won't see me again." Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, and the first Thrawn, yeah.
The first Thrawn book.
Yeah.
And it always seemed weird to me, like there was a 5-year expiration date. Like after that, they just become one in the Force, and they've undone that because obviously Yoda appears in The Last Jedi, which takes place 30 years later. So Ben could still appear to Luke Skywalker every now and then.
Well, I mean, it was Master Yoda, so maybe he's more in the Force than Ben was.
It was just one thing out of that trilogy that seemed contrived. Like, we can't have Ben telling Luke what to do. He needs to have his own path. So we got to get rid of Obi-Wan Kenobi. He can't continue to tell him, use the Force.
Right. Maybe.
Luke's got to do it himself.
Maybe that's why he thinks he's such an awesome Jedi.
Mhm.
What?
Okay.
Nothing?
What are you hoping out of D23? A new show announcement? New
A new
movie?
show. Huh?
New show, new movie?
I think it'd be cool. Either one of those. I'd like to see. Okay, so the more. All right, did you listen to Len Testa this morning?
Kind of.
Kind of. Yeah. Disney's gonna have to. Epic Universe is coming for Disney. Disney's gonna have to do something. So it'd be nice to see something in the parks.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them do something more to the parks, but yeah, I mean, as much as I enjoyed my Universal trip, it wasn't the same as Disney because to me, Universal, as much as I love Universal, it definitely has a Six Flags feel to it. Some of the part, especially like the Islands of Adventure, when you're back and they have all the carnival games and stuff, It definitely feels Six Flags ish. But I still like Universal. I don't. It's not. I'm learning to love it. But I love Disney, and it'd be nice to see. I think Epic Universe is coming after Disney, and Disney's gonna. I'd like to see them do something more with the parks. Either do something more either with Galaxy's Edge or do something with the Star Cruiser.
Yes.
Go ahead. I would pay like do a dinner show or something, but I don't want to have to pay to go to the park to go to a dinner show.
So what you're kind of talking about is Epic Universe, brand new theme parks coming to Orlando,
Right.
Universal Orlando. And Disney's response is, we've got this new restaurant and we've got this new parade. Come on over. And it's like, that's not the same thing. I don't think Disney can actually have a fifth park.
Right.
Um, they have to continue expanding things, but at some point they have to do something with Universal or Hollywood Studios because it's not a full day park.
Yeah.
And I wish so they're doing Beyond Big Thunder. Big Thunder is a roller coaster. It's a new Frontierland roller coaster. And they're talking about adding a Villains Land back there, which wouldn't meld nicely into the Haunted Mansion
Right.
behind the Rivers of America. But they need to do something, and it's got to be more than parades. And they've also been saying that they've been prepping themselves for Epic Universe by adding things here and there, and it's like adding a new ride is not the same thing as a brand new theme park.
Right.
It's not one to one.
No, it took Disney as much time to build the Tron roller coaster that it did for Epic to build a whole park, for Universal to build a park.
It took longer to build Tron than it did. Was it Disneyland or the Magic Kingdom?
Magic King. It's in Magic Kingdom.
It's in Magic Kingdom, but to build the ride took longer than it did to build Magic Kingdom.
Oh, wow.
And that partly was because of COVID.
Right.
But also they were cutting budgets and Bob Chapek's not there for a reason.
Right. Well, they also when they were talking about this morning on the Disney Dish podcast, they were talking. Somebody had written in and asked them about why doesn't Disney do an express pass like Universal, and their reasoning behind it, or their thinking behind it, is Disney can't do the capacity. There's too many people at Disney versus like Universal has got a smaller crowd, so they can have a walk on line, whereas Disney, they need to control the crowds better, and they can't really do a walk on line.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Did you want that zombie droid?
If you can get me one, sure.
I got you one. It's coming up. It should be here Tuesday or Wednesday because
All
my
right.
oldest is down there.
Sweet.
I told her to buy two, so I get the one that's in the best condition.
Okay. You get the one that she didn't put in her back pocket.
Yeah, exactly. If
What
they're
are those,
both
like
card,
12, $13?
yeah, if they're both carded, and they're both crumbled, I'll just throw them back in her face and say, "Go back and get me two more."
Damn it. Go back more. I need more.
But I was surprised, like, so they make their droids, they have like a Christmas one and a Halloween one, and they usually do some sort of summer. It's usually like in theme to Star Wars, the
Right.
movies itself. But every June they make a Pride one, and it's not that I thought I didn't get one because I thought it should be for people who celebrate Pride, like gay
Right.
people, LGBTQ, like it's for them. So I haven't been buying them, but come to find out and it's not about value, I get that, but they're really expensive now.
Huh.
$150 on the aftermarket.
Wow.
So it's like, I should have been getting it, and I should be getting it to support my friends.
Right.
But it also seemed like a weird cash in. I'm like, that doesn't seem right, but
Yeah, I agree with that.
then again, they have their Pride years, so it's like whatever. But I was just surprised to see the value. Some of those Build-A-Droids are worth a lot of money now.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw somebody had posted the droid from Ahsoka, the one that looks like Chopper, but it's got a round dome. And I went back. I thought it might be one of the ones from Disney, but it's not. It's a Clone Wars. But yeah, dude, they do that, and they also do. They're not doing the Build-A-Droid anymore, are they? Where you
They
actually
don't do
get
the build the droids, no, or the build the sabers because of COVID. They took all that
okay,
down.
that stinks because that was cool, and I thought the build. No, I think they may still do the sabers because it's a good alternative. They push it as a good alternative to Savvies. If you don't want to spend the $200 on a Savvy saber, your kid can go spend 40 and still have an experience building a
I
saber.
don't think they do that. I think they
Really?
want you to buy the expensive ones.
No, I thought they might have had it.
I don't think they do.
Hmm.
Maybe they have it in the Tatooine traders.
Right. Build a lightsaber at Disney World.
I
Yeah, I'll
don't
look. I
remember.
think it is in I don't
Anyways,
know.
uh, buy those Pride droids. I'm gonna be buying them from now on.
Yeah. You know what's sad is I'm still a little salty, Mandy. When I went down there, Mandy told me I couldn't do another Savvy's lightsaber. And I'm still a little salty about that.
I never
You
got the monkey lizard hilt to go on that.
Yeah, I found a Wampa on Macari, which was, I got it for basically what they were selling them for in the park.
Would you get that Loth cat drink?
Dude,
They're
if I
not right.
could, I would. Yes.
No.
Why? Did you get me that too?
No. Calm down.
I think that was only at Disneyland anyway.
I thought it was at Olga's at both places.
I don't know. It's a cool looking thing. I did see that Beeline did make a chopper and shoot, what else? Did a chopper and a bunch of shot glasses from Ahsoka, which they all look amazing. And the chopper is like $40. And I'm just like, dadgummit.
Remember that one time they brought out the Olga coaster, or no, the Maz Kanata coaster at Olga's Cantina, and it was limited to like 1,500.
Yes.
It was just this one day. They didn't make an announcement. They just passed them out, and they never done it again. And it was really weird. And I wonder why they did that.
Hmm.
A short run of coasters. That might
It
be
probably,
something.
yeah, something just to get people in there.
That might be a cool like swag idea is just to start making custom Olga Cantina coasters for different made up drinks and stuff and pass them out.
Right. That would be cool.
It's a little niche. They
If only
stopped
we,
passing out the cards for the Falcon ride.
yeah,
They don't do that anymore.
the way they do the Falcon ride just it really irks me because they don't let you really explore anymore the cockpit because they're just like get in, get out, go, go, go.
We've got
I still
capacity
remember,
issues.
huh?
We've got capacity issues.
Right. No, you don't. You just don't want people in there. But I still remember, man, waiting in line and I look at my son and this was in right after the park open. I'm like, do you see that knob right there? There's a alarm that goes off. And if the alarm goes off, you got to go push that. But I'm like, yeah, of course that came. That was me talking about an alarm coming off because it going off because you can't hear it in Zoom. And like it was like somebody had to be listening to me mention it because it felt within like a minute of me getting those words out of my mouth, the alarm went off.
Mhm.
And that was just something cool. And of course, I freaked out because I'm the only one that knew what was going on. Everybody was kind of like, what's happening? And I kind of made it a big deal. Imagine that. And but yeah, that stuff's not happening anymore, and it just stinks.
Magic is fading out of that Galaxy's Edge.
It is, and then you have Epic Universe that's going to be freaking amazing. I'm not into it.
It's gonna be
I
epic.
huh?
It's gonna be epic.
It was going to be epic, dude. They were also saying that like in on Disney Dish that the tallest building in Hogwarts is going to be the shortest building in Ministry of Magic. And they were also saying how if you are in Epcot if you ran the France Pavilion in Epcot, I'd be worried because Epic Universe is going to have a better France Pavilion than France will.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't expand the World Showcase. There's two paddocks, I guess, for lack of a better term, they can expand to. There's countries around the world, but who knows?
Right. I just think they're scared to spend money, and they're trying to make money or trying to win money back, and it's like, no, you need to do stuff, man, because before you know it, Epic is going to be open sometime next year.
Yeah. Um, no meetup this month,
Nope.
but it's going to be busy for the next months after that. September,
Yeah.
October, November, December. September, we're going to Lewis and April's.
Yep.
October, we're going to Terry's. I haven't seen Terry in a while. Hi, Terry. I haven't seen
Hey,
you in a while.
Terry.
Hope all is well if you're listening. Oh, he's November. October, second chance.
October second chances, which I am going to miss because I will be on a cruise. I'm going to miss
Wait,
that one.
I got something going on October. What day is that?
Uh, it's the 12th or 13th or something.
Okay, I'll be here for that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was
Yeah, it's October 12th.
when we stopped by on Saturday, I was kind of curious as to how they're going to fit all of us there because they've gotten rid of that back room. They've redone it so maximize their space and sell things on eBay. So I don't know where we're going to hang out, but
Unless we hang out where they have all the eBay stuff. I mean, they can clean that out. Have you
yeah,
been back on that side of the
yeah,
back there? Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they can do something there if they want. No, but our buddy Elijah's back in town, so that was cool seeing him on Saturday. I hadn't seen him in like a year, it felt like.
And the 14th of September is Lewis's.
Yes.
Cool. And then the 9th or the 16th of November is Terry's. And then the
I have him
14th.
as the ninth.
And the 14th is the Winter Social
Let me put that in my book.
at my place
On your new deck.
on my new deck. Coming
You
along.
never know, man. In Georgia, it may be warm enough to be out. It probably will be warm enough to be on your deck.
If not, it's gonna be hot in the house. People are gonna want to step outside.
Right.
So that's a look at that. And we got to figure out what to do next year. We were talking about doing the Force Ghost Roswell tour
Right.
next October. So maybe we'll plan something around that. But yeah, I don't know what else to do.
Yeah. No, I think we can do bowling again. I think we can do at the ghost tour is definite. I mean, heck, we can even do painting with the twist again. That was fun.
It's fun. Except
Except what?
they got weird. That whole situation was weird. They were bought out
Oh,
and then they wanted to stuff us in another room. And then I had to put my foot down and not be me and be like, no, we didn't do this. We paid for the big room. Give us the big room.
right.
So if we do it, we'd have to find another place to do it.
Okay. If they even remember us, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you were that jerk off from 5 years ago."
Well, for my work, we have we celebrate Women in Construction Week, and I reached out to them because I was like, hey, we did the Star Wars thing. We'd like to do that for some of the women in our office. Nothing, crickets.
Uh-oh. Well, maybe I guess we'll find a new place to do that next
Yeah,
year.
we'll see.
Yeah, that was the other thing about that stunk about 2020 is we had a lot of stuff lined up for the club. We were going to do a lot more outings, and
The
2020
Void.
happened.
Oh, I missed the Void. Remember that game?
Oh, the Void was so awesome.
When you would beat the VR Stormtrooper thing.
Right? Did you do it?
I did it down in Disney Springs. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad we did it, and it was one of those I want to do it, but and they were supposed to do all kinds of other stuff with it, and I mean that experience was cool. I would have liked to have seen people do it, been on the outside looking in, watching people do it from like, because there was one part where you're like on lava or you're walking a plank or something, and it literally felt like you were above lava,
Mm-hmm.
100 feet in the air, and dadgum good and well, you were probably like on a little pole, a
Yeah.
foot off the ground.
I wonder if we can talk to libraries or something at different places throughout the city to try to get people, everyone seems to come up to the northwestern side of Atlanta because it's where a lot of the stuff is. But I don't know, can we get a library in Covington or something in Conyers and try to get people from other areas of
Yeah.
the area to come up?
Yeah,
I
we can
don't know.
figure something out.
Gotta think outside the box.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to do next year.
I just remember right before COVID, we had so many people at John Waterhouses and
Yeah.
And then COVID happened and they all disappeared like a fart in the wind.
Man,
Man.
that kind of stunk.
Yeah, you can't end on a downer. So how do you want to end the show? Because you can't end on a downer.
I guess I'll dig out my dad jokes.
They're not dad jokes, they're bad jokes.
They're bad jokes. Here we go. Star Wars dad jokes. It says laugh it up.
Last
Go
time.
ahead.
Last time.
Last, really?
They're boring.
They're boring. You don't want to do it anymore?
No, do it one more time.
You don't want to, after this, you don't want to do it anymore?
We can come up with our own because it'll be better. I
can
have
still-
some I could do. Go ahead.
Fine. How does Wicket get back to his village?
He walks. I mean, that's so stimp.
Okay, what do you call an Ewok without any teeth? A
What?
gummy bear.
No.
Okay, how do Ewoks build all those weapons?
I don't know.
With their bare hands.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, there's two. I'm gonna just finish off. They've got one more. Hold on. Oh, never mind. What do you call an Ewok sneak attack?
What?
An indoor round.
Okay.
That doesn't make sense.
No.
Does that make sense?
No. An indoor round?
Right. An indoor round. I don't get it. Unless I'm reading it wrong. Okay. There's 4 per, so I'm going to do one more. The rebels ordered 12 B-Wings for their fleet, but 13 ships arrived at the Battle of Endor. It was a freebie.
Oh, what do you call a construction worker without a body or a nose?
Without a body or nose? A face plant?
Nobody knows. Thank you for listening to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast. If you could, please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen to podcasts. Really helps us out and points people to our show. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Follow us on social media. Send us an email or message us. We love feedback and we'd love to make you part of the show. Our email address is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. Thank you to Alfonso Riviera for the Smugglers Galaxy logo. And thank you to Levi Waterhouse for the music. People, collect for the love of it. Hashtag vote with your wallet. Sabine will be on next week. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collecting community. Get your prosperity.
This is the way.